Alright guys, just a little fix. I was having a bit of to renew the lower linkage bearings on my CRF 450. It's 2012 model. So you take the wishbone off. I guess you have problems with that seizing up. It's a bit of a gunky mess. The same with the knuckle joint. Everything seizes up. The bearings are pretty crap. Yeah. So I come up with a little tool. It's a very simple fix. So this is what I come up with. Some M10. Just the normal long threaded bolts you can get from the local hardware store, B&Q or something, and an M10 roll plug. Okay, so dismantle this and I'll show you how to fit it inside the bearing to knock it out. So what I'm going to basically do is take the bolt out, the original bolt, and I'm going to be using the shell. So let's take that out of there, set it aside. We're just going to need the thrust, and then cut off about, was it 4 or 5 inches of thread, and 2 17mm bolts. Leave about an inch or so from the end. Get the 2 bolts married up together. Get your socket. And lock them together. Nice and tight, yeah? So what you've got 2 lock nuts, about an inch and a half or so from the end. And what we're going to do, we're going to replace the original bolt in here like so. Screw this on. The bolts will fit into the grooves, and as you screw this one in, this will separate and hopefully push inside the bearing on the inside of the bearing. So that is basically the tool that you're going to create to push your bearings out. Very simple. It's about £3 for each component, 2 or 3 quid for the other one. Okay, so we look at the wishbone first. Just pop the cap off. What's happened is I've removed all of the gunked up bearings inside. The right mess. Just fish them out as you can, and then remove the rubber seal, which is pretty clean because I have done this earlier just as a test as well to make sure for the video. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to expand our homemade tool inside the bearing and push it out. So as I screw this, the wedge goes inside, pushes out the tool. So just pop it in the other side. It's been removed just for video purposes. So I'm just going to pop this in there, and as you see, it'll push right through. If you put the lip, start screwing, the other end, it starts to open up. And as it opens up, you can push it against the inside of the bearing hub. Keep screwing, so hopefully it'll fan out inside. And as you push up, it fans out inside. So you've got these 17mm nuts in there locked in, it pushes it down. Now hopefully, it should be nice and tight against the inside of the bearing hub. Very simple, very easy to fit in place. I know you can press it out, but take the bull by the horns, one ding, job done. So first of all, I'm just going to pop it on there. And the reason why you've got the 1.5 inches poking out is so you can clearly strike. Almost out. 2 or 3 hits, no messing about, no pressing. Everything should be nice and neat, okay? And I think there's enough room inside the socket to take it. You can use the wood, or you can use two pieces like this if you want to protect. This is scrap, so I'm not going to use it. So you can use two pieces of wood on the side and strike it like that. I'm just going to keep it simple and strike it like that. Okay, so it's a simple 2 or 3 hits, and you've got a clean bearing. So just to go back again, if I just unscrew this, push it, unscrew, push, the bearing hub, where that was sitting inside, just completely comes off quite easily. So I'm going to use this now on the knuckle joint. Okay, so I took this off my CRF, it was pretty gunked up, it was pretty seized. So I just used a disc cutter to cut off the bolts which are seized through. It didn't affect the way I knocked out the bearings. We're going to go from the knuckle joint from the start, okay, just to see how easy it is. This is as it happens. So just pop out the washer. And on the other side. Okay, so as you see, we've all seen it, just completely rusted up. Right, okay. So, with the bearings removed, as you can see, some of the bearings have started to come move. I'll dig the rest out now, okay? So all the bearings are removed. We're going to do this again. I'm just going to push it inside. Collapse it down a little bit, push it back into a thinner shape, and I'm going to pop it through. It'll go through the other side, which I haven't taken the bearings out of, and it's going to hopefully start screwing it in there, hold the centerpiece in place. And as it starts to open out, it's through the old bearing with the needle still in. It's into the other side. It's fanned out into the inner ring, or the outer ring of the bearing. Hopefully it'll be the same procedure again. 1 or 2 hits and we should be clear. Have I got enough clearance? I should have enough clearance for this, so I'm just going to pop it on there again. How easy is that? 2 strikes, the bearing is completely out. Undo it a little, push it in. As you can see, the bearing is quite clear of the hub with a simple tool. No messing, no fuss. And I'll demonstrate on this one as well with the needles in. Start so. Right, so as usual, always a mess if you neglect these. Keep them oiled or keep them greased, and they'll serve you a long time. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, the needle bearing is removed. Take our little adapted tool, collapse it down a little. Keep the spring on, it's quite important, it makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to put this in again, and I'm just going to turn the screw thread, hold the center point, so it starts to fan out again. Just adjust it there. As you can see, as I screw this one, the center part stays still. And it fans out to secure itself inside the outer ring again. Simple. It's a really simple fix. Took me about half hour today just to wrap my brains, but simple fix. Same again. Pop it on somewhere, something you can use the wood or the driver. I'm not using this part again, I'm just going to drive it through. One bearing removed, but for a simple tool which costs about £2 or £3 to make, so you can see the spring has come off there. It's good to keep it on because it holds it all in place while you're doing your work. So for simple, let me break it down just to show you again. So that's all I've done. Bear with me. That's all I've done. Is taken an M10 solid wall plug, an M10 standard thread you get off the shop, any hardware store, 270mm nuts to lock together. Simple, easy, effective way. Simple, easy, effective way to drive out those the bearings. As you can see, I took a little bit of time doing this one. Made sure that everything was in place. 2 strikes on that side, completely clear. 2 on that, absolutely no damage. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Any questions, just post on my Facebook site or on this YouTube. Thank you very much. Bye.